Picture a football pitch from directly above. 20 outfield players, 10 A-side, sprinting in a blur of two colors. And then, standing alone in each box, one player dressed like nobody else on the field. You have never questioned this. It just looks right. But ask yourself, why does the goalkeeper get to break the uniform? Why is football, a sport obsessed with team colors and kit sponsorship, completely fine with one player on each side simply not matching? The answer is not fashion. It is a rule written into the actual laws of the game, and it exists because of a very specific, very human problem. A goalkeeper is legally allowed to do something no other player can do: handle the ball with their hands inside their own penalty area. For a referee sprinting to keep up with play, sometimes 40 or 50 meters from the box, that creates an immediate problem. In a crowded penalty area, with bodies colliding and arms flailing, the referee has a fraction of a second to answer one question correctly. Was that the goalkeeper's hand, which is legal, or an outfield player's hand, which might be a penalty? Get that wrong, and you can decide a match. So football's rule makers built in an old, simple solution. Make the goalkeeper impossible to miss. The laws of the game, maintained by the International Football Association, Board, or IFAB, explicitly require each goalkeeper's kit to be a color that distinguishes them from every outfield player on both teams, and from the match officials as well, not just their own teammates, everyone on the pitch. This is not a recent addition. Distinguishing goalkeeper colors have been part of football's laws since the early 20th century, back when the sport was still standardizing basic identification on the pitch. Long before television, video assistant referees or replays existed to correct a mistake after the fact. The referee's eyes, in the moment, were the entire system. Color was the fastest tool available to help them. Think about how fast a foul happens. A cross comes in. 6 players jump. An arm goes up. The whole passage lasts under 2 seconds. If the goalkeeper is wearing the same shirt as their own defenders, a referee scanning that pile of bodies has to work out identity and legality at the same time, under pressure, with no second look. Give the goalkeeper a completely different color, and identity stops being part of the problem. The referee's brain does not have to ask who touched the ball. It only has to ask what happened. This is also why the rule extends further than most fans realize. It is not enough for the goalkeeper to differ from their own side. FIFA competitions require kit clashes to be checked and resolved before kickoff for exactly this reason, and if 2 goalkeepers happen to pick colors too close to each other or too close to the referee's kit, one of them has to change. That is why you sometimes see a goalkeeper in a shirt that clashes badly with their own team's colors, a bright yellow keeper for a team in dark blue or neon green against claret and blue. It looks strange. It is deliberate. There is a myth that this began with a specific dramatic incident, a wrongly given goal, or a famous handball missed because a goalkeeper blended into the crowd. There is no single confirmed founding incident. What actually happened is quieter and more practical. As football professionalized and the rulebook formalized across the early 1900s, officials simply recognized that visual clarity prevented disputes before they happened, and wrote it into law rather than waiting for a disaster to force the issue. So, the goalkeeper's odd, mismatched shirt is not a style choice. It is a piece of officiating equipment. A signal built directly into the uniform, so that in the chaos of a goal-mouth scramble, one person on the pitch never has to be identified. They simply have to be seen. For most of the 20th century, that meant green. Green was rare on outfield kits, cheap to produce, and visible against most grass and most strips at once, so it became the unofficial default goalkeeper color across English football for decades. It was never a legal requirement. It was simply the easiest color to guarantee a clash-free match, until sponsorship, television, and a wider palette of dyes made bright yellows, oranges, and pinks just as viable, and considerably easier to spot on a floodlit pitch in the rain. Today, a top-level match official checks both goalkeeper shirts before kickoff specifically for this reason, alongside checking the outfield kits do not clash. It is a small, unglamorous piece of pre-match admin, but it exists for the same reason the whole rule exists. Now you know.